People who are black are 3 times more likely to be killed by police than people who are white.
African Americans are sick and tired of being sick and tired. They're sick and tired of sitting back and watching other African Americans die for a crime they didn't commit or for the color of their skin.
Good afternoon. We're coming on the air now with breaking news in the killing of George Floyd, who died on Memorial Day. There you see him right there. His death. After being held by officers, you see them right there, 4 officers there in Minneapolis. His cries, "I can't breathe," sparking protests across the country over the last
shooting of that young unarmed black man, Ahmaud Arbery. For the first time, we're hearing a 911 call made by one of the men charged with murdering the 25-year-old. The call was made weeks before the shooting. Steve Ofnasami have the latest.
Investigators this morning are listening through this newly released 911 call made by one of the 2 men accused of murdering 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery.
The mayor of Louisville, Kentucky, has announced that one of the officers involved in the shooting death of Breonna Taylor will be fired. 26-year-old emergency room technician was shot 8 times in her home by police issuing a no-knock search warrant as part of a drug investigation on March 13th.
Me and my 2 peers had the opportunity to attend a meeting on Thursday, June 18th, and this is what we learned.
From the meeting, I learned that the Orange County budget has $4.2 billion in it, and if you take 1% out of the $4.2 billion, it's roughly $40 million, and that would be a great way to invest in the black community.
Okay. From the meeting, I learned that me and my peers need to be more involved in what's happening in our society and our community. Less than 38% of eligible youth voters actually vote from the ages 18 to 24. Our votes make a big difference on what's happening in our nation and our cities.
In the meeting, I learned the 3 E's, which are education, employment, and entrepreneurship.
Another way to help the black community is to communicate with top companies such as Universal and Disney and have them be involved here.
During the meeting, they came up with an idea to form a foundation for the money to go if anyone invested. So this way, they wouldn't have to separate the money into different organizations. The host of WOKB 1680 AM, Let's Talk Nation, Mr. Rod Love and Mr. Greg Jackson, came up with an act to create called the Racial Equality Redevelopment Act.
I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Love, the facilitators, and all the other companies and corporations that were in attendance and helped make this happen. I really appreciated the experience, and even though I was just a scribe and I wasn't talking much, I was definitely listening. I was listening to the conversations that were going on, and it really stimulated my brain and made me think of things that I've never thought about before and different ways I can help my community, and I just really appreciate the experience.
Thank you for allowing us to be your scribes. I had a fun time. It was a great experience.
And I want to say thank you also for the opportunity for us being your scribes as well. And I'm glad to see that there is action being taken in the community, not just for our generation, but the generation after us.